uh, try to understand national movement during Second World War, right? So, the topic could be the Second World War and national movement. National movement. Is this fine? And just try to understand, right, this topic first, right, because it would be a connecting topic. With this topic only you will understand Quit India movement, you will understand development of national movement in its last phase, right. So, therefore, you have to understand this connecting topic, the Second World War and national movement. See, for your understanding, uh, you must be knowing that, right, that 1939 till 1945, Second World War, I hope you all know it, Second World War, and of course, we will discuss Second World War in world history. It is a major topic for you in your syllabus. Fine. Now, before this, you know that we demanded responsible government, and finally when 1935 Act came, right, we realized that it is not our responsible government or Purna Swaraj, but yes, provincial autonomy was there, if you remember, and therefore, we formed ministries in 1937, after 1937 election, formation of ministries for 28 months. Fine, like you know this background. After this ministry, right, Second World War started and we were ready to support them. Idea, try to understand, we were ready to support them, but our demand was, how can a weak nation, right, a colony can help you. So, we wanted some concession and, right, we demanded responsible government, right, and in that context, right, they were not ready to consider those demand and we had to, right, the ministry had to resign, Congress ministry resigned, right. And after this resignation, you will see that again there was a pressure, and 1940, because of that pressure by the nationalists, they came out with an offer, we will call it August offer. Linlithgow, Lord Linlithgow, August offer. It offered what? Dominion status. Now you tell me, in August offer they are giving you dominion status, how can you accept it? And therefore, there was a reaction, right, and this reaction was what you call 1940 individual satyagrah, individual satyagrah. It was a, you can say, individual based, right, of course, individual satyagrah, it is also called Delhi Chalo movement, right. So, individual satyagrah, it was a kind of compromise because, right, we that time, right, not in a position to disturb them, and you must be knowing it that what should be our stand related to it. There was a debate also that time, debate was going on. Jawaharlal Nehru had different view, Subhash Chandra Bose had different view. Subhash Chandra Bose, right, was ready to, use this opportunity, he favored, right, this kind of, using this opportunity, this kind of stand. So, there was a debate, but finally Gandhiji said, right, so we should go for individual satyagrah, and individual satyagrah was there. And after individual satyagrah and the deteriorating war condition, right, 1942, right, they sent Cripps mission, and after this Cripps mission, when even Cripps mission repeated the same thing what this August offer repeated, same thing they repeated. Again they were talking about dominant status, again they were talking about something constitutional assembly after war, right. Gandhi ji, right, was not ready to tolerate this kind of thing, and he said now time has come for a very you can say militant kind of, radical kind of mass movement, and we call it Quit India movement. So 1942 Quit India movement started. So we have, you can say no, a separate topic for Quit India movement, and in that topic we will discuss why Quit India movement, significance, nature, right. But here I just wanted to give you a brief outline of the situation during Second World War. So these are some important development during Second World War. Is this fine? I hope it is okay. Fine, right. So we can add that in 1937, right, elections were held under the provision of 1935 Act, and Congress ministries, right, formed. Congress ministries formed. Well, right. Then after this we can add that when Germany invaded Poland, right, on 1st September 1939, right, when Germany invaded Poland on 1st September 1939, right, Second World War broke out. Fine. Second World War broke out. Right. Then we can also add the Congress, right, in full sympathy Congress in full sympathy with the victims of fascist aggression was willing to help the forces of democracy. Right. We were willing to help the forces of democracy. Try to understand it. We were willing to help the forces of democracy. Right. We were willing to help the forces of democracy. Right. We were willing to help them. This is very important. Our approach, Congress approach was this. We were willing to help the Congress, you can say willing to help the forces of democracy, right, in their struggle, right, against fascism. Right. So I hope now you understand the stand of Congress or Gandhi, right, that time, Second World War. So we were willing to help, right, the forces of democracy in their struggle against fascism. Okay, right. This would be helpful for you, right. You will understand what exactly Congress was thinking. Subhash Chandra Bose had different idea. I have discussed it, right, in a separate video, right. So we were willing to help, but they were not willing to take our help, right. So, but the British government, right, without consulting, understand, without consulting the people of India, without consulting the people of India, involved the country, right, involved the country in the war, right. So we were willing, they were not willing, and result was, right, we had to decide what. So if you are not, right, ready to consider our stand, right, then we are resigning. So what we did, the Congress opposed this kind of, right, unilateral decision, right, and ministry resigned as a mark of protest. So we can add the Congress ministries, right, as a mark of protest, as a mark of protest, right, resigned, as a mark of protest resigned on December 12th December 1939. Here you have to remember that Muslim League was also not very happy with this ministry. They talked about many theories. They said Congress exploitation. They came out with many theses also to suggest that it's a Hindu kind of rule, Congress rule. And when they resigned, they celebrated it as Deliverance Day. So this also is a very important aspect, because it also paved the way for what you call Pakistan movement. So League was very happy, and League, right, when they resigned, they celebrated, right, and they as a Deliverance Day. And after that you will see in 1940 Pakistan proposal, Lahore proposal, right. So it would be a different story, right, we will take up it differently, right, you can separately. So the Congress ministry resigned and Muslim League was very happy for it, right. You can say they considered it as, right, you can say Mukti Divas, Deliverance Day, right. Now when World War started, Congress resigned, right, Muslim League started talking about Pakistan, all this development during Second World War. Fine. Then during the course of the Second World War, right, in order to secure the cooperation of Indians, they came out with a proposal in 1940, right. This proposal is called August Offer. So we can add that during the course of the war, right, to secure the cooperation of the Indians, they made an announcement in August 1940. They made an announcement in August 1940, which is called August Offer, and this offer envisaged that there would be a representative body of Indians to frame new constitution. August Offer, there would be, right, you can say after, you can say war, or in the future there would be a representative body to frame a new constitution. It offered dominion status. It offered war advisory council, right? But Gandhi ji was not satisfied, but Gandhi ji was not satisfied. He was not satisfied with this offer. He was not satisfied with this offer, and he decided, Gandhi decided to launch, individual satyagrah, individual satyagrah. He decided to launch individual satyagrah, right? Also called Delhi Chalo movement. Individual satyagrah he decided to launch. Try to understand why. Failure of August offer, right? It came as a shock for nationalist, August offer. So individual satyagrah. And what we can remember, that this individual satyagrah was a limited, it was a symbolic, and it was a non-violent satyagraha, right? It was a limited, it was symbolic, and it was a non-violent satyagraha. And Gandhiji, right, decided individual satyagrahis, right? So the first satyagrahi was Vinoba Bhave. First satyagrahi was Vinoba Bhave. He was first to offer satyagrah, right? Anti-war speech, then arrested. He was arrested. Vinoba Bhave was arrested. So who was the first satyagrahi? Vinoba Bhave. He was arrested, and after that, after his arrest, the second satyagrahi was Jawaharlal Nehru. Second satyagrahi was Jawaharlal Nehru. He was also imprisoned, he was also arrested, and then the third satyagrahi was Brahma Dutt. Third satyagrahi was Brahma Dutt, right? And then you will see, right, many satyagrahis, thousands of satyagrahis participated. So individual satyagrah, they were going for a speech and then they were arrested, and this individual satyagrah continued for nearly 15 months, right? They say more than 1 year it continued. But, right, what was the result of this individual satyagrah? Of course, it was a compromise, right? Of course, it was a compromise, no doubt about it. And why it was individual? Try to understand it. Why it was individual? That time we were not ready to, you can say we were not in a position to launch a mass movement, right? Tired satyagrahis, communal rights, right? Congress not organized, right? World war condition, right? And then we were not ready to disturb, frustrate the war effort. Therefore, individual. Sometimes they can ask you, why individual? So it was a kind of compromise, no doubt about it, right? Pressure, yes, pressure it created. And after this individual satyagrah, you will see that they realize the importance of, right, taking, support from Indians. And one more problem was worsening wartime, you can say, situation, international situation also, right. So after individual satyagraha, we can mention that because of the pressure created by it and worsening and worsening wartime international situation, the British government, right, wanted to secure Indian cooperation, again Indian cooperation again, and for this they sent Stafford Cripps, right, in March 1942. Stafford Cripps in March 1942, right. So, finally, they decided that no, war probably is going in different direction, and it is required to secure Indian cooperation, and they sent Cripps mission 1942. Indian nationalists also had great expectation from this Cripps mission. Gandhiji also had this, you can say, expectation from Cripps mission, but as I mentioned, it also failed us. Cripps mission also failed us. It again talked about the same thing, and because of that, they had, you can say, we had no choice. Gandhi had no choice, and we had to launch Quit India movement. So, we will discuss this in a separate video.